What's up, everyone? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. I hope y'all had a good day today. I personally did not trade today. A little disappointed I didn't trade because looks like it was a good day to trade. Futures pretty simple. I deleted it, but I had a sell side high volume node up here. This would have been the retest. Pretty easy entry. Um, and then, or sorry, I had a sell side up here. I'm pointing to like a week ago. Um, yeah, broke inside previous day value area high. The entry wasn't super clean, I don't think. Like for 80%, it was not. Came down to where we were looking to be buyers. And then for me, well, I don't want to say why, but this is an easy place to close longs. I can explain that in a second. But for you guys, why would this be a good place to close if you bought here? Or I shouldn't be targeting the wicks. Why would this be a good place to close? And then we'll get into it. Or actually, I guess I can't really move forward without answering the question. But I will say, so I'm going to delete a few things just to make this cleaner so we can see. I'm going to delete this, but this is the area where we were looking to be in puts, right? They never gave us a clean retest of anything, right? So like this is our first candle closing below the strong high, second candle closing below the strong high, and then we retested right after the second candle, right? Same thing here on the previous day value area high. Actually, I'm going to delete our SIGs because they're just kind of in the way. Same thing with our previous day value area high here. This is all choppy, right? Where we're not getting any clear direction. Finally, here we get a break below and close below. And then we have a full body candle that opens and closes below our previous day value area high, which is telling us like, hey, maybe they're actually going to do the 80% rule, right? This is what you want to see is full body candles where we're not wicking back up and touching the previous day value area high or whatever it is, not touching the level that we finally broke through. And then here we got on the second candle, we actually touched and got the retest of our previous day value area high. This would be early, right? So we want at least 3 5-minute candles. We didn't get that, but that was our retest for the 80% rule, right? So I would not be disappointed or sad if anybody didn't take this trade. If you did take this trade, you were increasing your risk because the retest came too early, right? Results are good. Entry, not good, right? If you did catch it, cool. Glad it worked out for you, but this is not the setup that we're looking for. And actually, I can show you guys, I think they did the same thing yesterday. I was talking about this with a member on a Discord where when we were here, that member was saying, oh, 80% rule, right? Because we spent more than 45 minutes outside of our previous day value area high. But then here we came when we were just chopping, right? We never got a clean break below. We never had 3 5-minute candles breaking below, or opening and closing below, I mean, until here. We finally broke below, or actually, sorry, this candle here, we finally closed below, and then we had full body candles opening and closing below our level. Had a little sell off, blah, 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 whatever. Finally came back, retested here. And some of you might be saying, it didn't quite hit the level. I always talk about this. For SPY, you probably want like a 25-cent, what's it called? Buffer around your levels. For ES, I use 1 point. So this level is 430.50. Which means I could get in as low as 29.50 all the way up to 22.50, right? So this would be my zone around this level to get into trades. So it did hit my level, and then we sold all the way off to previous day value area high, or value area low here, right? So this was our 80% from right here to right here. And my main point in showing this is hopefully you guys see the distinction between, or actually, sorry, I highlighted the wrong area. They were talking about 80% when we were here. My bad, right? So we did break below, right? But then we immediately wicked back up and touched the level. Then we had a full body candle close below, and then we wicked back up and touched the level. And then we had 1, 2, 3, but this doesn't give me confidence because we kept touching the level. And I was also watching order flow as this was happening, and order flow was looking very bullish. I mean, they didn't really do much of anything. They barely broke back above the level, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But this here was our clean retest. And hopefully you guys can see the distinction between this and this, right? So from here, we did the 80% rule from previous day value area high to previous day value area low. And really my main point in showing this is it's nice on one chart where I can show where the setup is not good and then where the setup is good, right? So hopefully you guys see the distinction. For me, the reason we would close our trade here is this is our retest of breaking this level, right? So this would be support broken, now probably turning into resistance, and we're probably going to sell off from there, which we did, right? So if you did hop in calls here, this was your area to close, either first sig or previous day value area low. All right, let's go ahead and start erasing some stuff. Nice to see that we're finally cleaning up some levels. Let me go to 30 minutes here. Wow. Strong high, strong low, huh? All right. Turn on session volume profile. Move forward our daily levels. I'm going to go ahead and do this, but we're like 2 days away from the end of July. It would require massive moves to change July's levels. So right now would not be a terrible time to have July's levels on your chart. All right, so there's our daily levels. Up here we've got our strong high. And down at the bottom here we have our strong low. Let's go ahead and do July really quick. So we're going to zoom out to 4 hour, turn off session volume profile, turn on PVP, change to 1 month. And basically with these levels, you're just going to want to check every day that our levels are not changing, right? So we would want to check, what is it, Wednesday and Thursday after the market closes. Also, I apologize to like the people that donated and helped with the lawyer fund for not getting up and trading today. I woke up, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling very good and super tired. I looked at the market, we were at like all-time highs. I'm like, I'm really just not in the mood to look at oh, sorry. That's a very good question, Sebastico. Anyway, I was just like, I'm just not in the mood to do another trading day. We're at all-time highs and I don't have levels. And, you know, lately the market's just been up, up, up. And the fact that we actually had like a selling day today, was refreshing, but I just didn't have the energy to sit through another day where we're ripping higher and I don't have levels up above. Um, Sorry, I'll answer your question in a second, Sebastico. It'll make a lot of sense, kind of, sort of. This is going to be a VPOC for right now. See, nobody called me out when I was talking about this the other day. Let me go back to it. Sometimes I can be mildly stupid. And so under my templates, I have everything that I use, and I'm like, why don't I have strong high, strong low? And I was so confused, I couldn't figure out why I didn't have strong high, strong low. Because those are levels, that I use all the time. And the thing is, um, strong high, strong low is actually our single prints, right? And this is going to be the M period, so we actually have a spike. Um, but so a strong high would be also the same thing as single prints, which I do have, right? So it's actually the same thing. It's just a different word for it. That's all it is. Same thing with down at the bottom here would also be single prints, just a different word for it. We probably want to, actually, I don't know that I want to do this, but let's do it and we'll see. I'm probably going to have like some kind of an imbalance or a nice sell side high volume node up at the top here. And if that's the case, I would rather have that on my chart than a bunch of single prints. But for right now, let's mark our single print zone. And then if we have something else up there, we'll go from there at that time and figure out if we want to leave the single prints or not. And if you want the single prints, make sure, well, I guess you can always replay this, but there's a chance I'm going to delete these. So just a heads up. All right. So basically the moral of the story is I should stop being cocky and I should turn on TPO and I should also wake up. This is the M period, right? So we have a spike at the bottom. And now the question is, where do we go from here, basically? So here's our spike. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me today, but I literally slept all day. Like I woke up, I think it was like 11:30 this morning, or I woke up, whatever normal time for trading, wasn't feeling great. And then I thought like, I was just feeling like tired, but I didn't think I was going to fall back asleep. So I was just laying in bed and then I ended up falling back asleep. And then I woke up and it was like almost noon. It was like 11:43 or something like that. And so I was kind of surprised, like nobody woke me up. My family just let me sleep. My wife knows, I work really hard and she knows sometimes I get really burnt out. But so I woke up and I was like, babe. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, do you feed the dog? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I literally rolled over and went back to sleep. I just woke up like, I don't know, about an hour ago. So I literally like whatever took a nap yesterday for I think like 2 hours or no, like an hour and a half. Went to bed last night. I don't remember what time. Slept all night. Woke up this morning, normal trading time. Went back to sleep. Slept till noon basically. Woke up, made sure that my dogs had been fed. Rolled over, went back to sleep, and slept till about an hour ago. And I still feel tired. So anyway, I'm probably coming down with something, I think. But all right, so there's our levels. Let's zoom out on SPY. Obviously, bearish day, increased volume over the last 2 days. Tomorrow we have FOMC, right? So with that said, let's just look at our news really quick. Let's look at fear and greed first. And then we'll look at our news. We're probably in greed, yeah. So since they sold off today. We're not going to be in extreme greed. Our news tomorrow, we have our FOMC statement, which is going to be the big thing. We have federal, I mean, there's a lot of news tomorrow, but the main one is going to be our federal funds rate, FOMC statement, FOMC press conference. Generally not advisable to trade until after this takes place. Before the open, we've got some non-farm employment change, advanced GDP quarter over quarter, advanced GDP price index quarter over quarter. 15 minutes after the open, Canada's got their monetary policy report, rate statement, overnight rate. We have pending home sales month over month in the U.S. 30 minutes after the open. An hour after the open, BOC press conference. So there's a lot of freaking news tomorrow, all the way up until FOMC. So be very careful trading tomorrow. It's going to be very volatile, especially after the FOMC statement. Let's look at futures right now, where we're at. So we're bouncing right now. This is the close here. From there, we opened right here. Had a little push up, not very much. It's like 5 points. And we've just kind of been chopping sideways at this buy side high volume node. All right, let me turn off TPO. Let's turn on our big boy charts, look at our high volume clusters, imbalances, and go from there. Did somebody just delete my messages? Whoa, hang on. That's weird. Sorry, bear with me, everybody. All right. Sorry, super weird. Let me pull this up here. This is kind of hard. This is going to be hard for me to do right now. We have a massive amount of orders right here. But as of right now, I don't know if this is buy side or sell side. It's looking like buy side, but we're not sure. So I'm probably going to mark it on the chart and then explain to you guys how to figure out if it's a buy side or a sell side. But then right above, we have this massive stack of orders as well. And then, of course, up here. Wow. It looks like they're going to want lower from here. Whoa, what happened? $10.10 candle to the $10.20 candle. My son's playing drums. I'm sure you guys can hear that. Oh, wait, what was that? 34 to 31. Body of the 6:45 candle. Body of the 7 o'clock candle. 603 to 607. Damn, my sun's going off. I'm just going to make this yellow because, like I said, I don't know as of yet if this is buy side or a sell side. It's looking like it's going to be a buy side, but again, I need confirmation. And by confirmation, I mean I want at least a 30-minute candle opening and closing below, or fully opening above and fully closing above and not wicking back down into this range. And right now it looks like this candle might do that, but we have like another 17 minutes before this candle closes, so I don't know yet, but we're going to put it on our chart, and I'll kind of outline how to watch for this tomorrow. $11.10. Can you guys hear my son? He is literally just going off. Pretty wild. 12:30 candle. All right. So really quickly here, this is 637.79 to 638.06 up here at the top. Our middle range here, 636.17 to 636.56. And then down here at the bottom is going to be 635.01 to 635.41. Yeah. This kind of complicates things here. But anyway, for tomorrow, if we come up to here, and I'm going to highlight basically this whole range here. This is where I would be interested in being in puts or closing calls. Yeah. So this, or actually, sorry, really quickly, I want to look at one last thing. Let's look and see if we have any imbalances. I should specify any imbalances that I actually care about. We do have one up at the top, which is also covered by our high volume node. This one here, I don't really care about. It's kind of in the middle of nothing. We want imbalances to occur like at the beginning of a trend or at the beginning of a trend, whether it be an uptrend or a downtrend. This area here we've already talked about, where I said this imbalance has been, it was created here, we came back, bounced again, and I said the next time we come to it, we're probably going to slice through. Well, we did initially bounce, and then we sliced through. I think tomorrow there's a chance we go lower. Let me close this chart. Okay. Sorry, bear with me, everybody, really quick. I've got something I got to deal with really fast. All right, sorry about that. Man, Davis, Ozzy passing is a massive bummer. So for me, this area here, I'm really interested in using it as a place to be in puts or be short. But it's also like in kind of a sketchy area, right? Everybody knows if we open above, right? If we open between our spike, it's slightly bearish. And ultimately, if we open below, it's going to be very bearish. However, I would not be surprised to see us open above, come through whatever and go, right? How to trade this is going to be a little bit harder to call, but if you're on the riskier side, you can grab puts right here. If you want to be on the safer side, losing the spike would be the area to grab puts. If you're on the safer side, losing the spike, retesting it would be the place to get into puts. Okay. If this happens, you're going to be wanting to close probably right around July value area high, or right at this poor low. That's the next level they're going to want to clean up. You can trim contracts here. Actually, let me go to 30 minutes so I can be more accurate about what I'm saying. So this would not be a terrible space to trim or take profits if you have a smaller account. You can lock in some profits here and target here, stop loss at break even, is how I would trade this if I'm in puts up here. Okay. I'm going to delete this. Actually, let me leave it on. All right. If anybody has any questions, now would be the time. Screenshot this. I'm going to post it in Keenan's. All right. All right, let's see. Yes, Davis, 80% rule works for any time frame. So weekly, monthly, yearly, previous day, all of that. And actually, I should just really clarify very quickly because we were talking about single prints versus strong highs, strong lows. You'll also hear them called other things. So like they're called single prints. They're called strong highs, strong lows. They're also called completed auctions, right? So there's a lot of different names for the same thing in trading. And I wouldn't say one is more correct than the other, but definitely want to learn, the lingo so that you understand what people are saying regardless of how they're talking about it. So for Sebastico, that was a really good question. And thank you for asking it because I was even confusing myself by, again, like with my my templates, for a minute, I was like, why don't I have strong high, strong low? And it's because I always call them single prints, right? But I literally somehow spaced out on that and then created templates for strong highs and strong lows. All right, I don't see any questions. I have a really crazy week this week. For anybody that works night shift, you'll understand this. I'm working tonight. So depending on how I'm feeling tomorrow, I might trade, I might not trade. Then I'm off tomorrow night. Is that right? Then I work Thursday night. And then I'm off Friday night, and I'm going to a concert with my son. Actually, super excited about it. This might not mean much of anything to most people, but I know it's like a smaller fan base than some things. What is going on, bro? So me and my son are going to this concert. It's a punk band, Less Than Jake, and August 1st they're playing in Riverside, so we're going to go on Friday, right? Yeah. And so working tonight, off Wednesday, work Thursday night, off Friday, work Saturday night. Again, anybody that works night shift knows how terrible that is, because you're like, you can't adjust from nights back to days, so your days off are just wasted sleeping. But it is what it is. I adjusted my schedule specifically so I could take my son to this concert. Less Than Jake, they're pretty wild. They're like a punk band that has like a lot of trumpets and stuff. And so I don't know. It's a super cool vibe. Like, they sound really cool. And then they're playing with, I guess it's not showing on here, but they're playing with, why is it not there? Well, this is the same lineup, but it's not the specific date that we're going. Bro, like, how do I get you off of my screen? That's so annoying. So this is the lineup that we're going to see: Fishbone, the Suicide Machines, Catbite. We really care about Less Than Jake and the Suicide Machines. So like, my son, he would love to cover some of their songs in his bands, but we don't have anybody that plays the trumpet. Actually, I should show you guys really quick. So this song is All of My Best Friends Are Metalheads.
This is a fair request, and I promise.
And I don't want to get, I don't want them to, whatever, like, I can't play more than 10 seconds of this, but I want to try to capture a part where there's like the trumpets.
Or blues.
Yeah, not there.
Think it's strange that there's a way of how you
Let me find a part.
think and they're not
Oh, there's some trumpets. So like right here.
right, and how you think
Oh, here it is.
pretend they're not the same as you.
So anyway, you can hear like there's the trumpets, the Cuck Club, Duck Club. You actually got me to say that on nice. Thank you. No idea what this website is, but yeah. So anyway, he would love to cover some of their songs like in his band, in his punk band, but they don't have anybody that plays any wind instruments. So they can't do that. But then I think I showed you guys this the other day, but I'll show you again really quick. This is, so the other band that's playing, the Suicide Machines, this band, Suicide Machines, he actually does cover one of their songs. This is my son by himself without his band, but this is a song called New Girl by the Suicide Machines.
Yeah! Well, I can't wait to tell you about her, all about my new girl.
He's still learning the words.
And I can't wait for you to hear me shout it all about my new girl. Aw, when we were together, you tried.
So you can hear like he's not really confident on his vocals, or not the singing part, but he's not confident with the words. So he's still kind of learning that song because him and his band just started covering that song. They're still learning it. I think that's the third time that he sung that song. So, but anyway, this band, me and him both absolutely like love. And, you know, it's like an older punk band. So like they don't tour a whole lot, or at least not come to the West Coast. So really cool that they're playing with Less Than Jake, which happens to be another band that we really like. And really cool that we're going to get to see them in concert. I know my son is going to do everything in his powers to try to get on stage and sing with Suicide Machines, which, of course, if by some random odd chance that happens, I will definitely be sharing video with you guys. I doubt they'll let him, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, so like I was supposed to work, I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But for that concert, I switched my Friday. Like, it was random. I had looked at these concert tickets like 6 weeks ago. And I was like, shit, I'm working that day. And so I kind of forgot about it. And I was like, whatever, we can't go. I have work. You know, like if my wife didn't have the baby, she would totally just take my son, even though it's not her vibe. But she would take him, you know, so he could see the bands. But then I was at work. I don't even remember what day, but sometime last week. And my supervisor comes up to me and he was like, hey, like, is there any chance that you're able to switch with me, like my Friday for Tuesday, and I'll work Friday for you? And I was like, oh man, that's going to really like screw up my days. I'll be working Tuesday, off Wednesday, on Thursday, off Friday, on Saturday. And she was like, yeah, I get it. No worries. You know, I figured I would just ask. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you know, I told her, I was like, you know, if it kept my days like 3 in a row, like if you needed to swap Sunday for Thursday, I would do it. That way I'm working Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And she's like, yeah, I get it. No worries. And then she walked off. And then I was like scrolling through Instagram and an ad popped up for that concert. And I was like, oh crap, I forgot about that. And then I was like, what Friday was it that you wanted off? And she was like, August 1st. I was like, all right, let's do it. So anyway, that's why my schedule is screwed this week, where I'm working like Tuesday, off Wednesday, on Thursday, off Friday, on Saturday. It's going to be a brutal week. I'm probably not going to be trading very much. But if I do again for donators, I will post a link. Sorry, so far, I know the last 2 weeks I haven't done anything. And realistically, just the last 2 weeks I haven't traded. I've traded last Monday and I traded this Monday. I did both live. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, with all of that said, super busy week for me. But I'll be here for you guys every day, right around the same time. Market update on SPY. And hopefully someday soon I have time to actually look at some option setups. I haven't been looking too much because it's just up. And that doesn't align with what I look at when I'm looking for option trades. I need some kind of a pullback like we have right now. So unfortunately, I didn't have time today, but there might be some good option setups that I could have found today. But I'll start looking again now that the market doesn't seem to just be heading in one direction only. As always, much love, much respect, everybody. Peace out, and I will see you tomorrow.